What's going on? What's going on? Oh man. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Hey Saint, Master G, what's the deal? What's going on? Hey Kandil. Hi everybody. How y'all doing? It's been a long week. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Oh man. Buttons. Y'all hit the like button as you coming in. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Y'all, it's storming in my area. And we got a flash flooding, but I'm gonna do this either way because I am ready. What's going on, Raf? What's going on? Y'all all right? Everybody speaking to everybody? I am ready, y'all, to finalize Fat Joseph. Damn it, Fat Joseph. You're cutting up, bro. What's happening? What's happening, y'all? Oh my God. Hey, Tanya. Hey there. Y'all, listen. I did a couple lives today in my car rides, on the way to work and on the way home. Man, let me tell y'all something. That damn reception in, in my car with that phone, the second video just kind of cut off. I didn't realize that. So yeah, I was kind of irked by it. I was like, God damn it. But I was talking about earlier, regarding Christian Keys and his video he put out on TikTok or Instagram or something. And his show, I didn't know he had a show being produced by Tyler Perry. So it's crazy. So crazy. I was watching Squid Games last season. What's going on? I missed you guys too. I missed you too, Tanya. That warms my heart. Thank you so much. Oh, I miss all of you guys as well. It has been a long week, guys. I still have a regular 9 to 5, and still struggling. But it's been a crazy week. I had training on Monday at work, and that threw me back with all of the stuff that I had to do work wise by seemingly a whole day. So I was working late every day this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and last night, up to like 1-2 o'clock in the morning, just trying to get to a good stopping point where I can feel accomplished. Like today, then I had to go to the office today. So yeah, I'm so excited because next week is a 4-day work week. 4th of July coming up, you guys. Which I got planned. We're doing what? I want to try to take my kids to, somewhere fun. Six Flags. I'm still the type parent where I like to have fun with my kids. We go to Six Flags. We had memberships. I don't know if it's still being paid on or not because, life be lifing. And sometimes, financially it's hard to keep up with that stuff. But I would like to be able to take them. I have to check to see if my membership is still active. Just to be able to get out of the house and walk around the park. They love the water park area. And I'm still one where I'll get on some rides. Not drops and free falls, but I ride a roller coaster too. So I hope you guys had a great week this week. Thank you so much. You guys, listen, I am so happy and excited about this weekend to get some rest. Everything is canceled here in LA due to immigration raids. Yeah, man, you guys are having it hard out there in LA. Oh, these immigration raids. At some point, you got the National Guard and everything out there. At what point is this stuff gonna get calmed down? Now, this is what happens when civil uprisings get out of control. I always say, I don't like every law that exists, but we have them for a reason. And it helps to maintain order. This is ridiculous. I'm just glad it hasn't gotten like contagious almost. There's a protest that happened here in Atlanta. Dear Woke Christian and I were kind of like, oh Lord. Let me know if you got a bunker or something. We got to hide out. It's just out of control. It's out of control. So due to the current environment, I'm keeping my booty in the house. I know, I know that's right. And it's hot. It's hot, y'all. It's hot. I mean, my air went out a couple nights this week because of the thermostat needed batteries. I was like, I can't win for losing. But there are a lot of people actually going without air. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. Um, tried, but when they saw how LA was, everyone else chilled out. Yeah, it because it's. I'm just like it's out of control over there. It's out of control. Fires and riots and everything else, and in LA of all places, supposed to be what one of the wealthiest cities in the state. Man, crazy how that stuff goes out of control, and now look what it's turning into. It's like a war zone. Either way, y'all, I just pray you guys stay safe, and hopefully this stuff will come to an end and order will be maintained over there because it's just ridiculous. But we got Fat Joseph. Fat Joseph is being ridiculous too. So for just full disclosure, I have, you guys can see here, the entire lawsuit. Y'all see I got the watermark on it. Yay! I'm going to do the summary and I'm going to do the allegations. I think the last spot I stopped at was what page, was it paragraph 50 or something like that? It's so long. And I said, man, I don't want to, I can't break this up anymore. Reading this in 18 different, it would take so many parts to read through. What I'll do is go through some of the highlighted allegations, and maybe we'll look at some of the exhibits on here. But I'm gonna read the summary, and this summary came from Adobe. So it reads like a novel book almost. I guess that's how fantastical this lawsuit is. It reads like a novel, y'all. I promise you. I was like, oh my god. Just 2 good pages, just summarizer, see PDF summarizer. Because I was like, there's no way I can do this to you all. Plus, I want to be able to kind of move on with some other content. I have some other videos I need to put out. P. Diddy, he's a whole thing still. And the only way I'm keeping up with that is with Night and Day Cartoon Network. So they dropped a couple new videos that I want to do my reactions on. So shout out to Night and Day Cartoon Network. They are subscribed here to the Lady Luck Club. And I'm just blessed for that. It's a blessing. So y'all ready to tune in? Hey Skeeter, how you doing? Hey Mark, in the background, I hear you. Back there, I hear you guys okay. Y'all all right? Got your email. Thank you for checking up on me. I gotta do better with that, y'all. If I don't do a live or post up for a couple days, I gotta remember that I love you guys, and I have to make sure that you guys are okay. And I know you guys check on me and make sure I'm okay. And I need to do better with putting up a post to say, hey, I'm not doing a live tonight. Got to work or something like that. I got to do better with that. So my apologies for not giving you guys a heads up and letting you guys know what was going on. So I appreciate you guys for reaching out to me, emailing me. The voice of the vice mayor of Kudai summoned the Kolos gangster to protect the night. Oh my god. Ooh, child, it's just too much going on out there. Everybody speaking to everybody. All right, man. We gotta get started on this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this live with Fat Joseph's summary of his lawsuit. We'll scroll through it, and then I'm gonna go and do a couple videos, the FBI complaint, show you guys how to fill that out, along with a follow-up on the reporting that I was doing for Novatech on another narcissist who scammed people out of what 1.8 billion was the highest number in a lawsuit that I saw. Insane. So in that video, I'll go through how to file an FBI complaint as well. And then, of course, some other content I want to put out. So we're going to get to it. You guys put a 1 in the chat if you're ready. We got some music going. We're going to read the summarizer. And then when I'm done with put this video. I'm going to do a recording just of the documents, you guys, and then I'm going to put that in the members only. This 159 pages because of the 2-page summary. But yes, all of this will be going to members only. Not this video, not the live, but the actual document itself. I'm just going to record it with some music or something like that, and it'll be in the members only. And since I got a watermark on it, it'd be hard for people to use. Let's get to it. Maybe if you use it, it is what it is, but my watermark is on it. All right, so Terrence Dixon, known as TA, has initiated a civil action in the Southern District of New York against a range of defendants, including renowned entertainer Joseph Antonio Cartagena, or Fat Joe, aka Fat Joseph. The complaint details a prolonged and coordinated effort by Cartagena. I'm just say Fat Joe because someone told me how to pronounce it, like Cartagena. I don't want to keep butchering his name. And his associates to exploit Dixon's considerable creative contributions. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, it reads like a novel, which were pivotal to Fat Joseph's successful music career over a span of 16 years. Dixon served various integral roles, spanning from lyricist to onstage performer, yet faced systemic exclusion from financial compensation, attribution, and royalty. The issue escalated into severe violations, including coercive labor exploitation and psychological manipulation, where Dixon was not only financially robbed of his due earnings, but subjected to distressing situations of sexual coercion and humiliation. The defendants allegedly orchestrated fraudulent corporate structures and financial schemes to conceal Dixon's rights and diminish his stature in the industry, thus enriching themselves at his expense. Y'all see how it reads like a book? This is something else. Okay. The lawsuit brings forth serious allegations under federal and state law. Hold on one second. Turn on this. I said it right. Cartagena. Thought my notifications had gotten messed up because I didn't see go live this week. Oh, no. I didn't get Cartagena. Oh, yay. I got it right. Yeah, I didn't go live this week, y'all. It was work. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna turn on this music a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I have to have some white noise in the background. I don't know why. The lawsuit brings forth serious allegations under federal and state laws, including the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, TVPA, and the Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO. The claims underscore a broad pattern of financial and sexual exploitation enforced through intimidation tactics and unlawful corporate practices. These practices involve creating ghost contracts and fraudulent financial records to misrepresent royalties and prevent Dixon from receiving the financial benefits of his work. The involvement of various entities, including Rock Nation, which managed Fat Joe's affairs, is scrutinized for their role in perpetuating these injustices, evidencing a calculated attempt to sideline Dixon's contributions and silence him. Amidst these daunting allegations, the lawsuit seeks to highlight the egregious misconduct that not only deprived Dixon of his earnings, but also led to long-lasting emotional and psychological consequences. The action illustrates a blatant misuse of power and control within the entertainment industry, aiming to reclaim Dixon's rights and expose the exploitative practices that took place. The actions of defendant Fat Joe and his associates represent a systemic pattern of exploitation that encompasses financial manipulation, psychological coercion, and sexual abuse. From the early years of their professional relationship, the plaintiff was subjected to various forms of deception, including the misappropriation of income from music royalties, performance fees, and contractual obligations. Moreover, the continual assurance of future payments was a tactic used by the defendant to maintain the plaintiff's loyalty while the enterprise benefited financially from the relationship. Misappropriated earnings resulted in plaintiff facing severe economic hardship, living conditions marked by instability, and a dependence on the defendant. This exploitation extended beyond financial matters as the plaintiff was repeatedly deprived of access to essential resources, forced into coercive and humiliating situations, and manipulated into a state of fear through explicit threats of violence. Wow. We hadn't even gotten that far in the lawsuit. What is it with these damn artists and stuff? Where they think they could just do whatever they want with people and then get mad and talk about, oh, they're just making up stuff. They just want money. I mean, should you be able to enjoy financial rewards like this if you can sit here threatening people with violence and essay abuse and allegations and all this other stuff? Seriously? Yeah, I mean, the only way they seem to learn is to hit them in the pockets. This kind of goes with the territory. You go do something like this to people, yeah, you should lose a lot of money. This is insane. If this be true. Joseph. Additionally, the psychological control enforced by Fat Joe culminated in severe emotional trauma for the plaintiff. Throughout their interactions, the defendant employed calculated threats and violence to instill fear and ensure compliance, effectively trapping the plaintiff in a cycle of abuse and coercion. Sexual exploitation further exacerbated this dynamic, as the plaintiff was manipulated into participating in sexual acts under duress. What the hell? I don't know. Is this worse than P. Diddy? About the same? What y'all think? What is going on, man? Y'all, this is so crazy. Why is some of these lawsuits are almost reading the same way? Tyler Perry, P. Diddy, Joseph. Like they all kind of have the same theme and allegations going on here. This is insanity. Is it just me? Or is it just, it almost reads and sounds like what the hell is happening with P. Diddy right now? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm tripping. Am I tripping? These same, like similar allegations. It's so close. Is Rock Nation with Jay-Z? Isn't he the How you doing? Oh. Shout out to all my mods. I miss you guys so much. I try not to go out as much, but I'm a citizen. I know, right? Man, listen. I do too. We missed you, Lady Luck Club. Oh, I miss all of you guys as well. I miss you all. Can y'all explain to me, like, am I? Because they all partying together. That's what I'm like. This stuff is starting to sound the same. Like lawsuits are dropping. Cat Williams was right. Hashtag Cat Williams was right. He was on the fucking money. He said, people come to me and give me information. Because if they hanging out together, they all doing the same damn thing. You are absolutely right about that, Katia. They all partying together. They all doing the same stuff, and they all being accused of the same acts. And then they sit here and try to control people with money. So you want to F with my livelihood? Okay, I'm about to mess up your whole world. Are you kidding? Hashtag Cat was right. I know, right? Hashtag Cat was right. Good Lord. He said, no. These big D deviants. That's what he said. Big D deviants. He said they gotta come. This was the beginning of last year, 2024. And these big D deviants are still catching it. Good grief. Oh, wait. Is this members only? No. The this live stream is to the public. It's for everybody. It should be. I hope so. Are y'all able to see this outside of members only? It should be for everybody. If not, I have this streaming public. It's public. Yeah. But the documents itself, once I'm done with the live, I'm gonna record just the documents and I'm gonna make that available to the members only. But the live stream will still be open to the public. Fat Joseph. Fat Joseph. Damn it, Fat Joseph. Yeah, I love Dave Chappelle. I gotta get my Dave Chappelle on. Damn it, Fat Joseph. You fucked up. Damn it. All right. I thought it was just me. It sounds it just sounds like P. Diddy and Tyler Perry. It's just good grief. All right, where was I? Additionally, the psychological control enforced by Fat Joe culminated in severe emotional trauma for the plaintiff. Throughout their interactions, the defendant employed calculated threats and violence to instill fear and ensure compliance, effectively trapping the plaintiff in a cycle of abuse and coercion. Sexual exploitation further exacerbated this dynamic. Okay, I read that. As the plaintiff was manipulated into participating in sexual acts under duress. Instances of public humiliation and forced sexual acts became conditions for continued employment and access to basic necessities. Yeah, because he did threaten to leave the guy in a foreign country. Oh, Fat Joseph. These actions meet the legal definitions of trafficking and sexual exploitation, revealing a culture of abuse that transcended individual incidents to form a broader enterprise built on coercion and violence. The lack of accountability from associates and entities like Rock Nation, which managed Fat Joe's business affairs, highlights the pervasive nature of this exploitation, leaving the plaintiff with enduring psychological and emotional scars. The dialogue between Pistol Pete and Percy reveals a deep-seated tension surrounding a mutual acquaintance named T.A., who appears to have fallen out of favor within their circle. Pistol Pete expresses frustration over T.A.'s perceived betrayal and insists that any violation of loyalty must be addressed. Y'all, this isn't this the same as what's expected in a cult? Y'all see why I want to start talking about, this Elijah Bishop cult thing? Because it's like that, except Hollywood version with a lot of money. You got so many of these situations where it's so cultish in nature as well. So it's let me see if I can state it correctly. It's understandable to see how people can fall victim to this pattern of behavior because you have the same thing and personalities with all of these, LA stars and artists and all these people who make all this money. It comes down to this cult personality type of thing. And they use sex as a way to try to hold people hostage or to, get people to remain loyal to them. I have you recorded with 16 orgies. How you feel about that? I mean, what do you expect someone come to you and say, I've recorded every move you've made in my house, including the ones you thought you were not being recorded for? And you're sitting here like, oh man, you of course you're not going to feel like you have the freedom to make your own decisions. So it becomes more possessive. And it ends up being to where, this person tries to position Fat Joseph, P. Diddy, Tyler Perry, allegedly, position themselves in people's lives like they're some sort of god or some sort. Like you basically having to go to them and rely on them for just being able to live and maintain. It's so cultish. It's not even funny. And you guys will see when we go through those series, like these same pattern of behavior. The only difference is Elijah Bishop, he wasn't like a rapper or anything. He was still a cult leader. And he did the same stuff. Crazy. All right. Let's see. I want to make sure. Percy counters this by underscoring the complexity of loyalty and personal relationships, especially when TA, regarded as family, has made questionable decisions that have ramifications. Both participants recount instances of monetary disputes and creative disputes surrounding music, emphasizing past close bonds that have since soured. There is a clear divide in their perspectives on handling TA's actions, leading to an ongoing debate about loyalty, accountability, and the consequences of betrayal among friends. I don't think they were ever friends. Not when you're willing to sit here and control someone's, finances and their livelihood with coercion of sex acts. I mean, it's so perverse. Ooh, child. All right. Further complicating this issue, Rich Player, another person I don't know, another character implicated in the ongoing conflict, intensifies the stakes by stressing the impact of these betrayals and the personal ramifications for each involved. He remarks on past companionship, my apologies, companionship between TA and their group, indicating that the fallout has resulted in feelings of hurt and betrayal, especially with conflicting accounts of loyalties and pressures. The discussion quickly shifts to a darker tone as threats related to physical harm and retribution emerge. Both Pete and Percy explore the implications of these threats, hinting that the intensifying nature of their disputes may lead to irreversible consequences. The evolving situation with TA becomes emblematic of a broader issue of loyalty and friendship fraught with betrayal, leading both men to grapple with their respective positions in an increasingly hostile environment. I told you all it reads like a damn novel. It's like a telenovela. Oh my God. So that's the summary in a nutshell. All right. We're gonna go to the Hula. What y'all think so far? This is, and I'm not saying based on the summary. I'm just saying like the information we've read so far from the lawsuit. You know, the coercion, the manipulation, the exploitation. It's like we're becoming more accustomed to hearing about this stuff than anything else. All because of money, y'all. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. All right, let's get some comments in. Yeah, good man. How are you tonight? Y'all speaking, everybody speaking, everybody. It's like it's the male Me Too movement. I mean, it's exactly. Except they doing it with each other as friends. I don't get it. Why is a grown man? Here's a good question. Why would one grown man want to force another grown man into sex acts and claim that they're not homosexual? They claim they're not gay, but yet you want to force another grown man into sex acts. Will we do that at? Like, think about this. P. Diddy, Tyler Perry, Fat Joseph, forcing other grown men into sex acts. But then don't want to just come out of the closet. I mean, what is the fascination with this? And then you want to sit here and act like, I can't believe you're calling me a gay. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, just the idea of forcing another man into sex acts is crazy. Fat Joseph, you got some explaining to do. This is insane, y'all. And then there's the whole financial scheme of it. They don't report their, of course, earnings to the IRS. And Fat Joseph had to admit that he had to pay back taxes on it. If you're making $2-3 million a year just on royalties, and then you got yourself involved in other businesses and side ventures, pay your fucking taxes. How hard is that? I would love to get $100,000. Y'all, me giving up $225 is gonna make me broke as shit. All right, I just want y'all to know that. I pay this money back, I'm gonna be broke as hell. I'll be done. And he's sitting here on millions of dollars and wealth, where you would think they would at least try to be content with life, forcing grown men into sex acts. It's so crazy. I'm not commenting much on this nasty stuff. These guys know better. Ugh, than you. They do, but and it's so crazy because it's like it takes lawsuits to get their ass in check. Y'all, oh my God. Okay, so what's the deal with Rock Nation? Anybody know is Jay-Z over that? I'll have to look it up. Because I don't get it. Like, what is the whole deal with Rock Nation? Okay, hold on. Rock Nation. Isn't that Jay-Z? Isn't that his thing? Yeah, this is wild. This is wild. music. They got Megan Thee Stallion, Lil Uzi Vert. Oh my God. Okay, so here's Rock Nation. Am I looking at the right thing? Who are that artists? I thought Jay-Z was the owner. Maybe I'm wrong. Desiree, what's her name? Desiree Perez. Okay, she was first introduced to Jay-Z. So he did own it at one point? Yeah, it is Jay-Z's. Okay. So he's not the CEO. Why? I mean, what does he have to say about all of this? Once again, Jay-Z remains silent on everything. The Book of Hove, a tribute to Jay-Z exhibit. Won a Webby Award. There's a rapper named Chris Webby. I know that. Is that the same person? Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. So he sold this over to her. How did this go? Jay-Z gave her the company. I mean, what are they saying about this? This is so crazy. Why you're your own company? I mean, Fat Joe got something to do with this, but I would be like, listen, unless he's the damn CEO himself, okay, well, we're gonna distance ourselves from you while you go through this lawsuit thing. Because you ain't finna make us all look bad. Why is that hard? Yeah, this is something else. Lil Uzi Vert. What does he do? Is he a rapper? All right, Jesus. The book of yeah. Hey GB, how you doing? Jay-Z, yeah. Lord, the book of hope. Yeah, that's what it say. That's what it say here. The Book of Hove, HOV, a tribute to Jay-Z exhibit, which was held at the Brooklyn Public Library and won a Webby Award in 2024. She wrote this book. Her executive producer credits also include the book of okay. Additionally, she assisted in launching the Brooklyn-based Rock Nation School of Music, Sports, and Entertainment at Long Island University. See, this affects so many other components here. With his lawsuit, his lawsuit is affecting Rock Nation, which is affecting a school, a library, music, awards. It's affecting entrepreneurship, production, sports management, technology. It's affecting a whole lot. If I were them, I wouldn't even want to have any connection. I'd be like, no, look, we don't know you until you're done with this. We don't know you. Don't even bring our name up. As a matter of fact, we're gonna file something to get removed from this lawsuit. Like, this is insane, y'all. That's insane. So we will go down to some of the y'all see I have all the this is the full lawsuit. I got out case number 25-CV-05144-JLR. Page 6. Listen, 157 pages plus the 2 summary pages is 159 pages here. And this is the full lawsuit that I pulled from Pacer. So yeah. So we went through the jurisdiction. I just want to go over the complaints itself and maybe check out some of the yeah, see, I'm not gonna pull up her information there. Yeah, Rock Nation. This was okay. Rock Nation manages Fat Joe's business affairs and, upon info and belief, has taken control over his music catalog, publishing rights, and intellectual property since 2017. This is why I wouldn't even want nothing to do with it. Oh, okay, so he's not the owner or anything. Okay, easy to cut him off. All right, now we got to drop you, bro. We're not doing this. You bringing much embarrassment upon us. No, there's no way they did not know that he was doing all this stuff. There is no way Rock Nation was not aware, even when it comes down to the money part, that Fat Joseph was not doing something wrong, financially speaking. There's just no way they didn't know. Tolling of the statute of limitations discovery rule. You guys can read that. Like I said, I'm going to do a separate recording just of the court documents itself. That way you guys can, you know, pause it and read it as much as your heart's desire. But my watermark is there. This is something else. Okay, so Plaintiff's role is a creative partner and uncompensated laborer. Then they have uncredited songwriting and false promises of royalties, because he lied to the dude about paying him. Apparently, he wrote songs and was his hype man and part of his security detail and all kinds of stuff. And he don't want to pay anybody. Misappropriation of performance fees and per diems. Jesus. $250 per show. Despite these explicit contractual provisions, defendants systematically paid plaintiff only a fraction of this amount, typically only $250 per show. Man, ooh, what an insult. What an insult. When he was getting six figures. Fat Joe, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You being cheap for nothing, and then you want to sit here and be manipulated and force a grown man into sexual act. Oh God. Coercive control, psychological manipulation, and threats of harm. I mean, the only reason why I could think of why this guy didn't just run away. Allegations are alleged. Yeah. I'm sorry. With the lawsuit facts, yeah. Yeah, my bad. I'm trying to give my opinion, and he is using his right to remain silent. Oh my God. Not Fat Joseph. Now, Fat Joseph filed a defamation lawsuit against this guy. That's how you know that you've done something wrong. Even if one allegation in this is true, you've done something wrong. When you go around, you turn around and file a defamation lawsuit. And in the previous video, I went over the order from the court where Fat Joseph was ordered to amend his complaint to establish to help establish jurisdiction, basically, with the citizenship thing. So he's sitting here filing lawsuits, defamation lawsuits, and then was ordered by the judge to amend his complaint just so they can establish jurisdiction and venue. Lord have mercy. That's how you know you're doing something wrong, Fat Joseph. And this dude is a trip. Because I'm gonna sue you back. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. And the judge say, nope, you can't even establish the basics. Where is his attorney at? Oh, that was just sloppy. That was sloppy work, Fat Joseph. Nobody leaves Sarah Squad in one piece. Okay, so you threatened my life. Got it. Oh God. So y'all can see why it would have been difficult for someone to try to walk away from all this, even though I would have walked away, changed my name if I needed to, and went to the FBI and said I need witness protection. And look at all the stuff that happened while I was over here because Fat Joseph got an idea from hell. Now look what I had to go through, and he's still doing it, and probably is going to do it to someone else. That's part of the reason why you guys is when you see something, you say something, because it's not just for you. It's to prevent this from happening to others, moving forward. All these victims that P. Diddy allegedly had with this nonsense he was doing could have probably ended years ago if someone would have came out and said, "No, I'm gonna sue the shit out of you." What's happening now, even with them, the prosecutor dismissing 2 or 3 of the allegations, or the charges rather, he still has to face the other charges that remain. So, the system is screwed up if he just walks away and he's not even found merely remotely liable for at least conspiracy. And we all saw him attack Cassie in a hotel. That was insanity. So, let's see. Let's get down. So, of course, he's threatening, Fat Joseph threatening people. Allegedly here, that's what it's in the lawsuit. Sexual exploitation and humiliation under duress. Oh, man. This went on for 16 years. 16 years. Defendant Fat Joe would force him to engage in sexual acts with women specifically brought to Fat Joe hotel rooms and private gatherings following performances and studio events. Oh my God. I mean, what forced a grown man to do this stuff? Was he not married? Is Fat Joe married? $250 a show. Isn't that an insult? You gonna hold on. I'm your security detail, your hype man, lyricist, and help you with beats, and you only paying me $250 a show? If you don't go to hell, bro, you can say whatever you want. Listen, you want to sit here and threaten me being little bitty itty bitty pieces. It's not gonna take away the facts of what you've done to me either. Nah, that once it's out there, it's out there. That's why Fat Joseph is trying to file a defamation lawsuit. I don't know why he would do that, because all it does is open him up to have to force more discovery out of him. Like, you realize, Fat Joe, that Terrence Dixon could ensure that you have discovery exchange. So the discovery is still going to be out there on the forefront. Look at the exhibits in this lawsuit. I mean, what was he thinking? Most times, if you don't want information to get out, you don't want this litigated and played out in a court of law, because that is open to the public unless your case is sealed or there's a lot of information that's redacted. And in order to get something like this sealed, I mean, you got to file a motion, and that's a whole nother hearing and a whole nother hurdle in and of itself to get a case sealed. So otherwise, it's going to be available to the public. So why would you want these things to play out in court, but then get upset and embarrassed about the information that's being put out to the public when, we as Americans, we want accountability and transparency in our judicial branch of government? Well, this is what comes with the territory. You go and sue someone, those court documents are made available to the public along with the exhibits. And people like me are going to go to Pacer and get it out. People like me are going to go, I'm just pull this out of Pacer. Pay that little fee for 157 pages here. Same thing with Tyler Perry. There ain't no way he's going to be able to hide and cover up the lawsuit once you put it out there. This is why the judges always encourage that you try to mediate these matters, especially when it's high profile cases. But now, because Thunk has got to be hard headed. So here we are. So he was coerced into, listen to this, y'all. He was coerced into more than 4,000 sexual acts to maintain his standing with the enterprise over 16 years. You can't make this up. Oh my good Lord. 16 years, so crazy. This stuff is happening every day with so many people. It is. And the worst part is you're making threats to people's life. All because you want to keep them under your control to force another grown man into sexual acts. Fat Joseph. At least be honest and, allegedly come out as bisexual if that's what you're into. Because I don't see how a grown man is straight would want another grown man to do something like that. Like, you don't force grown men, if you're straight, into sexual acts with anybody. You shouldn't even care what they do in the bedroom. It's not a conversation straight grown men have. Like, hey man, I'm gonna need you to go in and have sex with all them women. Why? You go do it. This is so insane. The psychological toll was immense. I'm sure 16 years. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't blame him for filing this 157-page lawsuit after 16 years of this nonsense. Allegedly. Yeah, because, reasons. Forced exhibitionism and enterprise sexual culture. Yeah, this happens often because we've seen it played out with what? P. Diddy and Tyler Perry now? Who's next? Y'all remember when Eddie Long was a bishop here in Mega Church in Atlanta? Was faced with the same thing, except with his victims being underage boys, teenagers, stuff that didn't have father figures in the home. Child. No. So here's a picture here. The defendant repeatedly referenced what happened to former Terror Squad artist Cuban Link, who was physically assaulted and slashed across the face, leaving him with permanent nerve damage and visible scarring. Are you kidding? Oh, yeah. So you see, no one exits Terror Squad in one piece. Great. This is something else. It's like a cult, y'all. It's a cult. Before the slashing, this is how he looked. Oh man, look how he looks after this. After the slashing. Y'all, this is nasty, nasty work here. Look at that. You see the scarring at the top up there and across the forehead. This is something else. This reference was not abstract. Defendant pointedly reminded the plaintiff of the physical consequences that could accompany disobedience or separation. If, why not just leave him alone and let him go? First of all, why force a grown man into sexual acts again, Fat Joseph? Nasty, nasty work. Nasty stuff. Forced sex acts under duress and surveillance. Because, this had to be recorded for some reason by a grown man. And watched. Others were, in many instances, defendant remained present during these encounters, watching, recording, and issuing verbal commands and commentary. You can't make this up. It's like P. Diddy, except Fat Joseph. Oh my God. Oh my God. And Rock Nation, Jay-Z, you still have nothing to say. Oh, okay. This is insanity. Y'all, look at this. On one occasion in Miami after a concert, I said I was not going to read this whole thing, but how can you ignore it? This is something else. This is something else. A grown man told another grown man after he brought a woman back to a hotel suite, he ordered plaintiff to sleep with her in front of the group, insisting the bathroom door stay open and shouting, "Get your D hard, TA." Fat Joseph, is there anything you want to tell us? Fat Joe, is there anything you want to tell us? Because grown men don't move like this. Grown straight men, let me be clear on this. Grown straight men don't move like, and I'm not, listen, if he is bisexual or even gay, that is his prerogative. But why are you hiding it when your actions and what you're doing shows otherwise? Because grown straight men don't move this way. They don't sit here and tell another dude to get their D hard. Grown straight men don't do that. They don't say stuff like that. Yeah, I'm convinced that Fat Joe is a fluffy. He's a fluffy piece of crap. I don't get it. I don't get it. What do you hide? Why are you hiding this part of yourself? Look at this. Yeah, I can't make this up. Look at this. Members of the enterprise, including JB and Pistol Pete, stood in the room watching and laughing. Other grown men standing there watching and laughing while another grown man tells another grown man, "Get your D hard, bro." With one individual remarking, "Yo, Joe, I'm not about to stand here and watch this dick." Seriously, one person in the room that was like, "No, I'm not standing here watching this." What the? That Joseph, you got some explaining to do. This is why he's filing lawsuits for defamation, y'all. Thank you, GB. This is Diddy indictment all the way. This is gross. And this is something else. Listen, if he is bisexual, even gay, Fat Joe, be what you are. Because clearly, this is not the actions and the words of a straight man here. You don't worry about another dude having his deed not hard. Like, come on. I can't even keep repeating it because it gets just more and more disturbing the more I say it. Plaintiff did not participate willingly. Yeah, especially when somebody's shouting orders about protruding parts of your body and getting stiff. I mean, seriously. Man, this is disturbing. So these acts, they're saying, further constituted further violations under the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. And you guys see the USC, these are federal laws in place. USC, United States Code 18, Statute 1589 and 1591, and 18 USC Statute 241, conspiracy to deprive civil rights, and multiple provisions of New York and Florida sexual abuse statutes. Oh boy. They also serve as racketeering predicates under 18 USC Statute 1961 Sub 1B. This is it's humiliating in every way. Each episode of forced sexual performance, humiliation, and public coercion constitutes a separate predicate act under the TVPA and RICO. Defendant's pattern and practice of trafficking like conduct. So, when you see terminology like this, trafficking like, it's like saying, a breach of contract implied, right? So it's not saying that this is trafficking in the literal sense, but it's similar to the pattern of conduct that you would see in trafficking. Why are they wording it like that? I don't know, because he either was trafficked or he witnessed someone being trafficked or he didn't. I mean, that's not something that has to be, well, it's similar to trafficking, but not really. Because I mean, the first thing the judge is going to want to know is, okay, how does this actually, is it trafficking or not? Because I'm gonna tell you something, it's not rare that I see trafficking like conduct like this. So yeah, you see like breach of contract implied, meaning there was some sort of agreement where it's implied that that agreement was violated. I've seen that in a few lawsuits, but never trafficking like conduct. I mean, you either witnessed what's defined to be trafficking or you didn't, but that'll be for something that the petitioner will have to prove and meet his burden in court. So enterprise's use of violent and threatening coded language. I mean, telling someone, if you try to leave, you can find yourself in pieces or something to that extent is pretty much cut and dry. The darn. What kind of nonsense is it? Fat Joe and his senior associates regularly use phrases and terms that function as internal codes to direct violence, sexual coercion, intimidation, and other illicit conduct. That's included. The darn. What is that? What the hell is a darn? Do I have to Google these words? How bad is this going to get? His code name is Fluffy. Maybe that's what his name really meant. It was code for Fluffy. Fluff, Joseph. Fluff. Oh, Fluffy, Joseph, Fluffy. The predator aspect is the worst. Of course. It's so crazy. Hey, GB. I'm sorry if I haven't spoken to you yet. How you doing? Enrique said there's a lot of actors in Spanish celebrity world that pay women to be their cover up. Yeah, I mean, you see that often. Where men are just, kind of trying to hide their sexuality because, for some reason they think it won't make me look hard anymore. But yet you telling another grown man to get his D hard. Like, seriously? I mean, you might as well just come out of the closet if you're going to say stuff like that. But, for some reason they think that just, not saying it makes them look tough. But not like that. You saying it to another grown man while you force him to perform acts in front of you and other people while you're recording it. Now they're making me wonder who else gonna get sued this year. I better not see Will Smith getting sued for anything like this. Candia. I don't know. I heard some stuff about him. He got some things about him out there in the rumor mill. Sorry, about his behavior too, and it's not better. The fallout of this is much worse than just coming out. He might as well just say, forcing something is not necessary. He has money. Like, you have people that, will accept money in exchange for these acts. I mean, come on. Let's be honest about this. You got money to where you should not have to force another grown man to do this stuff. This is insane. They were saying that Darn Joe, and then must have shortened it. It is just the Darn. That's why I'm like, what is this list? I'm gonna be honest. I'm not someone that just, aside from his most popular songs, like Lean Back, and I don't know, a couple others, I'm not like a huge Fat Joe fan as far as his music. So You can give a whole list of songs that he's done, and I know maybe only 3 or 4 of them I will recognize just by title only. The rest I probably will have to hear just to see if I've heard it before, because I'm not in tune with his music like that. So I have no idea if these are songs or just words that was in a song. Like, why are you giving code words for this stuff? Yeah, you trying to be gangster on Fluffy Joseph, and you're giving code words for things like bees, of course, violence, sex acts, payoffs, calpy, physically assault or slap, rectum anus, cooling. What? Ketchup. Okay, because blood. Ugh. He's not even putting any effort into it. You're supposed to be a lyricist, Fluffy Joseph. You're supposed to be a lyricist. What is this? Ketchup? That's straightforward. Cooling? How is that equating to rectum anus again? The Don. Fat joke. Oh, God. Bo anxious? What? Okay, so saying the B word itself is too complicated. You got to have a code word for bitches. Oh, Fluffy Joseph. It's so weird. This is so weird. He came up with a code word for bitches. Oh my God. Does he not know it's free speech? It is unless it's inciting violence or something like that. It's free speech. There's some case law I've actually pulled up in a previous video about the word. Oh my God. Payops, calpy, cooling, ketchup, matadin, kill him or him. Oh, theory, baby mama, wife, girlfriend. Just say baby mother or wife or girlfriend. This is my baby mom. This is my girlfriend. This is my wife. Theory? What does that have to do with any partnership or anything you have with? Yeah, maybe because that theory is like, also meaning questionable, because, it seems like he at least is bisexual and he just don't want to tell nobody. Fluffy Joseph. This is the year of our Lord 2025. No one cares if you came out. Corpin. Why are there words for stuff like the ketchup and corp? Why is that a code word? I can't. The defendant's penance for exploitation was not limited to artists and collaborators. So this is what they're saying, that he came in, plaintiff personally witnessed defendant engaging in S relations with children who were 15 and 16 years old. So then that's when they started naming the victims here, minor Doe 1, because they don't have her name. I don't know if they have a law. I think New York does require for you to name the victim. I can only assume. And it also, stated early up in the lawsuit that this is going to be amended as they come across the names of the Jane and John Does. So I think they have to name the victims here under New York law. All right, so then they have a minor Doe 2, who was not a U.S. citizen, 15 years old, flew her overseas at the concert overseas. Oh my God. Y'all, here's a photo. Due to minor those dudes being body being adolescent, not fully formed, defendant paid for her to get a Brazilian butt lift. You paid for a 15-year-old to get a BBL? Fat Joe, you Fluffy Joseph. Why are you damn forcing a 15-year-old to get a BBL? Why not just get a grown woman with a BBL? Or a grown woman with a big butt? What kind of shit? Y'all, this is disturbing. It's disturbing. There, because no one could prove his baby mama girlfriend. Maybe so. Probably. Y'all, this is insane. I tell people about me, he's confused. Yeah, clearly, like, he just listen. Even if you're bi, you understand it. That's what you are. Why are you hiding it at this point, Fluffy Joseph? Why are you hiding it? Why are you trying to cover that up? You got a grown man performing acts in front of you, and you're telling him, get your Dior. What? So you're looking that hard to see his limp. It's just this. What a disgusting creature you are, Fluffy Joseph. Yeah, this is something else. Look at this photo. So they covered up her face. Though with her friends. So it looks like it's 3 girls in the photo. But of course they cover their face because they're minors. And then y'all see these other photos here. Look at this. So any photos with, when you're dealing with minors, they blur them out either way. Because of the exploitation. Is, you got some sick people out there in the world that feel like once the kid is exploited, they're easier targets. I mean, and plus these kids aren't mentally mature to the point where, I'm not saying all of them, but some of them that they're able to get their hands on are not mentally mature to that point where they can like know what to do if they get caught up in this situation. So they oftentimes get exploited over and over and over and over again, and it becomes a harder pattern to break, especially with them being so young. But I would still ask, where are the parents here? Where are these kids' parents? I mean, how did they end up in this in his purview anyway? Shouldn't they have been in school? Look at this, minor doe 3 with her friends from high school. Same time she was being trafficked by defendant, as is alleged. She should have been in school. The defendant sees no shame in his depravity towards children, obviously. The fact that he's taking photos with these minor girls like this, and you got your arm around them and all this other stuff. These aren't your kids. They're not your family, your relatives, anything. Why are you taking pictures with these kids like that? Where are their parents at? Where are the parents? This is insane. So they talk about lyrics in the song that seems to be referring to a minor. Fat Joseph, you fluffy piece of crap. In the relevant part, defendant says, now she was only 16. I had to nurture that, give her some growth, waited till I touched the, told she going have to work, gonna have to work, gonna have to work if she gonna get ahead. I guess that's supposed to be some sort of double entendre with that. Then she drove me berserk when she gave me, yeah, okay, yeah, that was a double entendre. I told you I'm not familiar with all his songs like this. She told me that she learned that from the porno. I said, mommy, stop talking. Just this D. Ugh. Just ask this D. I ain't say her name yet, so let's say she nothing. Now watch me turn this nothing into something. Get it? Nope. That's nasty. Mommy, get in that kitchen. This is free base. Just cook it till it's, oh my God. Just cook it till it's hard then. Cut it in eighths. Take the trip across town to see you. True, just get the money. Don't listen to N-word. Think you cute. See all this money we got. We're going shopping. Louis Vuitton and Gucci, we got it popping. We hit the club on some Clico. See the respect that you get from just being my B. Look, see them. They sick. They want to be in your shoes. That's the game that I hit her with to leave her confused. I'm just using her for paper. She want a man. I'm about to see my other B, but she understands. Oh, God. He proud of that weak ass rap. He proud of this. You don't even have to be a rapper or even a lyricist to understand these entendres. It's so basic. Man, this is so big. Man, that's so whack. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna scroll down some more. Defendant Joe covers up Andre Dre, Christopher Lyon from Cool, and Dre statutory RO of K Rose. Look at here. He's sitting here with damn Pete Diddy, Lord. And you have what's this dude name? DJ Khaled. Who the tall guy over here? Then you got another one over there on the other side. Andre Dre, Christopher Lyon, defendant. Sean Combs, currently federal inmate. They wanted to make sure we all know he's a federal inmate right now. Federal inmate number 37452-054. Sean Combs. The worst specimen right now on earth. I don't know. It's that Fluffy Joseph is almost trying to hold a candle to P. Diddy. This is insanity. DJ Khaled. Oh, okay. They're the worst, man. They are the worst. They put this dude inmate number. They made sure to put his damn inmate number in here. They want everybody to know he's in prison. And it's the dude that hung out with Fluffy Joseph, P. Diddy. Oh my God. Oh, Lord, look at some good. Oh God. This freak off Fluffy Joe show. Trafficking. Exactly. What Dr. gives a 15-year-old BBL? It definitely is not one that has a medical license. I can tell you that right now. They got some rinky dinky ass alleyway type doctor to sit here and probably inject this poor girl with all kinds of dumb shit that she definitely will feel the effects of at some point. You know how many people are coming out talking about, I regret getting this BBL. Why didn't you look up the science of this before you got it done? People have died from getting BBLs. Died. Also, so some confused Fluffy Joseph character can sit here and enjoy a BBL on somebody. This is insane. Was he married? Y'all know if he married? This is sick. He asked to step out of the photo and paid them a good amount of money to stay quiet. Probably. He's a grooming predator. Exactly. This is so gross. That's not rap. That's a police report. Can you say amen? Look at here. You got star today, Laura. That's not a rap song. That's a police report. This thing, it's so crazy how you have these dumbass rappers rapping about their alleged crimes. Why is that still happening? How many rappers have been hemmed up for rapping about their alleged criminal acts that is used against them in the court of law? I mean, at what point, Fluffy Joseph, do you grow up and act like the 60-some-year-old man you look like? You egghead. What the hell? Why are you rapping about that? That's a sick, demented person to sit here and want to recant what he's sitting here talking about a 16-year-old. Just S on my D. What? And you want to sit here and get mad and file a defamation lawsuit? Because literally all it takes is just, listening to your songs, apparently, for at the most part, just to at least reflect what your state of mind is when it comes to teenage girls. All they got to do is read the lyrics. Oh, Fluffy Joseph. How are you going to defend yourself on that? Because I'm not here to help you out. At this point, no. I'm still going to read it with, an impartial, objective view here, but stuff like that is what, you're handing the case over to the petitioner with lyrics like that. That's so dumb to rap about that crap. Diddy turns them out, then trains them how to be a predator. Yeah. This is insane. GB said they had closing prosecutor arguments in Diddy case today. I saw the videos on it. That's why I said the only way I can keep up with P. Diddy is through the cartoons, because otherwise it's just like, oh my God, this is happening like a ripple effect here. I don't know if y'all noticed, I have not read any of the court documents or lawsuits on P. Diddy. I just, and me not really knowing much about Fat Joe like that, aside from the couple songs that, I've heard. Man, I wish I would have just reported on this with cartoons as well, because this is disturbing. GB said, then on a lie detector, they can say that was my song. Yeah, he go in and talking about, well, I just wrote the lyrics. It was just a song. That's creative expression. No. Not when you recorded yourself and got photos of you doing acts with teenagers. These same kids that the, let's say criminal charges come down, the prosecutor decides to pursue an indictment. Fluffy Joseph literally would have to sit there just like with P. Diddy and listen to these kids or whatever age they, are now, but listen to them recant what happened to them at 15 and 16 years old. And if you get at least 3 or 4 that are willing to come forward and testify, it's hard to say all of them are lying. All of them can't be, like, everybody can't be lying against you. Same thing with P. Diddy and Tyler Perry. Everybody can't be lying against you. Yeah, this is something else. GB, I felt bad for Cassie until I heard the closing argument. So it's my understanding that she lied about something. Because I'll say this. No, don't go lie in court under oath. Because then you're setting yourself up for perjury. But we've also seen, video footage of her being physically abused at the very least in a hotel. And P. Diddy tried to get that covered up, tried to pay the hotel off to not, keep the footage. But he was just too slow and too stupid to get it fast enough, I guess. So, I mean, it's understandable for her to, like, her lawsuit, they settled it. And I think primarily because of that video. But getting on the stand and lying about, being R-word or abused or whatever, it doesn't help the case. You got a settlement out of your lawsuit. Why go to court and lie about that? Then it questions the validity of her lawsuit. If you're going to lie about something, like, we can all agree that she has been physically abused at very least by P. Diddy, because we've seen that in video footage of her actually get physically abused in a hotel. But I know I haven't seen any of the other exhibits or videos or anything like that. The jury has. But why lie? It's unnecessary, especially when there's evidence to show what he's done, whether it be to you or someone else when it comes to that. No reason to lie. Y'all, I'm still tripping on them putting his federal inmate number in there. Coordinated retaliation attempts by Enterprise members. So this is Pistol Pete, Rich Player with Fat Joe. I don't know which one is who. I'm assuming this is, okay, Rich Player is the one in the blue. Pistol Pete is the one in the middle. And Fat Joe. Who takes pictures like this? This is so zesty. This is zesty and disturbing. Why you got your arm around another grown man and you got your tongue sticking out? See this? Y'all, real men, straight men. Real straight men do not take photos like this with other men. This is insane. Yeah, just come out of the closet, Fluffy Joseph. Just come out. Let's see. They have. Is this a call or email? Hold on. Oh, this is a recorded conversation. Okay. So Torres, I think Pistol Pete invoked loyalty to Fat Joe. You see this recorded call here. Pistol Pete, Percy. Look at this. I would expect and think that Percy's loyalty is to Joe. No. Because Fat Fluffy Joseph did not down across for anybody. So no one owes him anything. Yeah, this is wild. Let me get some comments in. I appreciate you all hanging in there. We're hitting the hour and 14 minutes. I'm gonna wrap this up because I know how sometimes, even with me, it's only so long the attention can be kept on this, because this is why I didn't want to do a series like that, because I did that with Tyler Perry. And of course, the first video has, more views and traction than the other two. But I also understand, just the attention span. It's hard to, me personally, I just speed up the video playback speed. But I just don't want to make this too lengthy for you guys. Like I said, I will definitely be recording the actual lawsuit itself and putting that up on the members only channel so you guys can read this for yourself as well. And I expect this to get amended. So once the amended complaint comes out, we'll definitely make sure that's at least posted up because they got to name the victims. So you guys see this call here, and let's see. I'm just scrolling down because I want to get to some of the other exhibits in here. Yeah, this is 157 pages. Hold on, hold on. Okay, we got some text messages. Fat Joe tells us Donald Trump is delusional and prays for Hurricane Florence doesn't ravage the mainland like Hurricane Maria did to Puerto Rico, because he says the president already bungled the response to one devastating storm. I'm not quite sure how that has anything to do with anything, but okay. Wait, so is he saying that basically because he, in the following Instagram message, defendant brags about having connections in the White House? I mean, don't they all? It don't matter who's the president, whether you're a Democrat or Republican. The president is going to have connections to high profile celebrities. Even though I don't really see Fluffy Joseph is that high profile, but whatever. Um, okay, they got a photo of him with at the time VP Harris here. In addition to 101, we see him with VP Harris again. This is something else. I wonder how she feels about this lawsuit. Like, oh man, they thought this lawsuit dropped, and I'm sitting here in photos with this dude. Ah. Oh, y'all can see. Oh, look, Bill Clinton here. He got him some shoot, y'all. Air Force Ones. Let me tell you something. When I was in high school, that was the shoe to have. So y'all can see these photos here. He got the key to the city. What is the deal with Eric Adams giving out keys to New York? They did the same thing with P. Diddy. Why are you giving out the keys to the city to these folks? So y'all can see more text messages there. Oh my God. Okay. Like I said, I'm gonna scroll down through this, and I encourage all of those listening out there, including the ones in the bushes, if you would like to read this entire lawsuit, it would be on my members only for the LLC readers. Yay. Because this stuff is not always easy to get. Let me just scroll down to what they're asking for as relief. Look at that. Okay. Sorry, I'm just kind of scrolling through it, but like I said, I'll make this available on the members only channel. I'm just trying to get to what they're asking for. Prayer for relief. Here we go. Wherefore, plaintiff Terrence Dixon, aka TA, respectfully requests that this court enter judgment in his favor against defendant Fluffy Joseph, aka Fluffy Joe, and all other presently unnamed defendants jointly and severally, and award the following relief: compensatory damages to be not less than 2.6 million for unpaid performance wages, lost per diem, stolen publishing revenue, unpaid royalties, and physical and emotional injuries. Trouble damages under 18 USC statute 1595 for defendant violations of Trafficking Victims Protection Act, including forced labor and sex trafficking. Double damages according to New York labor law statute 1981-A for defendants' failure to pay wages due and willful underpayment. Why just won't pay Fluffy Joseph? If he did the work, 250 per show is just laughable. Just pay him. Why even set yourself up for all of this? Because at the very least, if you had an agreement and you undercut his pay, that's still problematic. It's still illegal. This is insane. Punitive damages for defendants' outrageous and malicious conduct and defrauding coercing plaintiff to deter future misconduct, equitable relief that includes imposition of a constructive trust over all income, royalties, performance fees, and publishing rights, restitution of all funds and assets unjustly retained by defendant, prayer relief. Yeah, prayer for relief. That's legalese. You kind of see that. Oh yeah, you're welcome, GB. Yeah, this will be available to the members only. So you guys make sure you tap into the LLC readers. That's the $4.99 one. Because I'm telling y'all right now, this was not easy to get. Eric Adams probably on Diddy's list. Yeah, I mean, oh man, can you imagine if he actually is, named as a part of all this stuff after having? Then they released federal charges on indictment against him. They dismissed it or something. This is what I mean. There's no accountability at all. And it just leaves a horrible precedence with others to think, we can all do the same thing and everybody get off. No one gets penalized, no accountability. They won't even say I'm sorry. And there's no way you can say I'm sorry to this stuff here. Facts. So I guess if you get a key to the city of New York, you're probably a predator. And I wonder if he has a picture with Epstein too. Probably. I'm sure they've been on the island a few times. Laura said, yeah, it says prayer for relief. This is legalese. Basically what they're asking the court to grant them. Prayer for relief. Yeah. The way they use prayer in court is kind of like, the request for the relief. It's just interchangeable with that. But we should definitely pray for the victim. All of them. Especially the kids. You're talking about underage kids. Restitution of all funds and assets unjustly retained. Declaratory judgment recognize a plaintiff as co-author of all songs to which he contributed and confirming his 15% ownership interest and entitlement to 15% of gross earnings from each such song. So every song that he contributed towards, he wants 15% ownership interest. God, I'm tired. 15% ownership interest and entitlement to 15% of gross earnings. In order compelling defendant to issue and execute letters of direction for all such songs retroactive to the date of release, a full forensic accounting of all royalties, licensing, revenue, digital streaming, income, tour budget disbursements, publishing shares involving songs and services provided by plaintiff. Oh man. You would think that they would just go ahead and get a full forensic auditing done. For some reason, Rock Nation has not disowned Fluffy Joseph yet. I don't understand what's taking them so long. Prejudgment interest at the statutory rate of 9% per annum under CPLR Statute 5001 and 5004, compounded annually. Look at that. Compounded annually. From the date plaintiff's compensation and royalties were due until judgment is entered. Post-judgment interest at the statutory federal rate, according to 28 USC Statute 1961, reasonable attorney's fees and costs, and other further relief, as this court may deem just, proper, and equitable under the circumstances filed by Tyrone Blackburn Esquire. Where is his bar number? I don't know. It's like a pet peeve of mine not to see a bar number. Put your bar number down. All right. Y'all, look. This is the whole thing. Like I said, I'll post this up as a separate document. 157 pages. This is insanity. So, you guys always let me know what your thoughts are about this whole thing. This is kind of becoming so familiar, this pattern of behavior, with between P. Diddy and now Fluffy Joseph, Tyler Perry. And let's not forget the ones before it, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Jeffrey Epstein, Andrew, what's his name? Winehouse? Something Winehouse. I mean, just a pattern of behavior that goes so long unchecked. Our 31st anniversary is July 2nd. Okay, congratulations, Laura. Right before the 4th. We'll definitely make sure we celebrate you. Candile said, I thought I was already at the readers level, but I wasn't, so I had to fix that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys make sure you tap in and get the members only. And like I said, because I had to pay to access this, these documents from Pacer. And it's not publicly posted everywhere. That's the only reason why I'm putting it in the members only. As you all can see, it has, and it really doesn't, sad to say, if my members only have been recorded in the past, I don't know, it only takes one person to get a hold of it and screen record it and share it. But that's the worst part. You're fucking with people's livelihoods doing stuff like that. Come on now. I appreciate all the support here, but I definitely don't appreciate anyone live streaming my members only, or they recording it. And then it's like, well, that kind of, there's a reason why it's not made available to the public. There's a reason why. It's treated no differently than a private video or one that's unlisted. If it's not available to the public, then it's not anyone else's job to make that available. There's an expectation of privacy with that, and people pay for that. So absolutely, shout out to Laura. Candile said our 7th anniversary is July 20th. Congratulations to you all. You guys are amazing. I appreciate that, and I definitely that support you guys give here, and you all deserve to be celebrated as well. That's why I go to bat for my mods. You guys are awesome. So thank you all for tuning in. This is an hour and 27 minutes. I really didn't want it to be this long, but like I said, this is something else. This is a pattern of behavior. I think Cat Williams was right, and hopefully there's some criminal charges that come out of this, because this is insanity. All right, so I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna just do a recorded video on how to file a FBI complaint, and couple that with my early reportings and stuff on Novatech, and give an update on that. And I have some more content coming out. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's keep this video in rotation. And as always, you guys continue to stay safe, take care of yourselves and each other. Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.